is high. It's always been there. It's a problem. What's the alternative that's there?
See, I think engaging people is the biggest challenge today for all businesses, right? And when your median age as a country is low, lion's share of the workforce is young. So therefore, every business leader today, more than chasing business targets, I think the biggest is hiring, rehiring, and retaining talent. Because a lot of business leaders are going through that, and especially when you have a large brand, a big brand, a corporate brand, retaining people is still easier because there is a certain glue there. But in emerging businesses, I think that challenge is even more.
Yeah, and then also the gig economy is changing.
Correct.
Right? Because what is happening in our worlds, and we are old dinosaurs in that sense, right? So in our world, job security was important. Correct. Right? Today, a gig worker or a small, a person who's a content writer, for example, I'm just using for effect, whether it works in a corporate or works a freelance, has an options to do that. So person at the drop of the hat says, I want to go out and I can still earn something and I'm not insecure about it. So I think that's a good side of the story. But the bad side of the story is that they don't spend enough time to learn and grow, right? What happens is that at the drop of the hat, they just drop off and then they don't get into the machine to be able to get the benefit of what they have created, to see the results of that, right? So we used to get promoted when we had already grown and probably started earning the next role. Today, the person wants, I want to be at this title by this time, right? And if I don't get it, I have other options.
I just want to
Seema,
share an
yes,
example
please.
here to what he was saying. So the current organization, and not taking names, so we had a content writer. She joined us as an intern, worked with us for about 3-4 months, and then we took her on board. So now almost a year and a half. So I get a call from her one day saying, hey, Seema, I want to talk to you. I said, what happened? I think my calling is different. I don't want to do this. This is very different from, your boss not respecting you and everything. I said, so what happened? I want to work on building my own personal brand, and with a job, that's not possible. Today, I received a resignation.
Oh my God. Wow.
Look at it. Yeah. See, this is very, very different and had nothing to do with the culture or the boss or the people or the HR for that matter.
Yeah. So from a startup point of view, when we are saying that we used to wait for 3-4 years, and I respectfully disagree. Today in the startups, the youngsters are getting so much exposure. The amount of stuff which a person used to do 10 years back, in 5 years, the same exposure the person is getting in 1. And the younger generation believe that they are in control, they are the Superman in their movie. They do self-appraisal and they give nothing but zero care, right? Because they believe that they have so many options, so many opportunities, so many unconventional paths to cover, and they will define their own destiny.
Yeah, but Nitin, one point on that. They acquire skill, but have they been able to demonstrate impact? See, where I was referring to was, the tenure was that we were able to then, it was slow to get acquired skill because we didn't have these kind of tools and whatever is available. So we needed time to acquire that skill, right? So that given. But also because we waited for business impacts to happen. What is happening, what at least I am seeing today, is that people are acquiring skills and they're very smart, far more smarter than us, right? And they have much better equipped from the tool set perspective and others, but they don't have the patience to wait for the impact to happen.
Yes. So new age
that's where I feel
but
is the problem.
Look at new age organization. If you work in Zomato or Zepto or a Blinkit versus, let's say, All Cargo or some other traditional logistic organizations, the guy is rocking in 2 years, and it's not about that whether he is able to deliver in that time or not. The guy got so much exposure, the next opportunities or the endless opportunities await for him.
Nitin, what you're saying is attrition.
New skills.
Absolutely.
Attrition.
And moving faster.
No, so, sorry, just one, I know you had a point. You're talking about attrition, okay? I think culture and attrition need not go always hand in hand, because even if you do your best in terms of creating a top tier culture or a glue that holds the organization, like you said, kids today are very impatient. Yeah, they'll anyway move. Exactly. Like, I'll give you my personal example. I don't know, I think I was telling you, or I don't know. So my son is just passing out of IIT Delhi this year. Did I tell you?
Yeah, you were sharing it.
He's got a great PPO from an organization which is a listed entity in NYSE last year. He did a fabulous job. He got a PPO. Great salary. We were both, me and my wife, were very happy. कि अरे बच्चा बड़ा हो गया. He woke up one day. Yes, he came and told my wife, I have told HR no. I freaked out. And sorry, I'm taking it a personal conversation here in this forum, but it's how the world is operating today. He woke up one day and says, no, I've told them I'm not joining the organization, I want to do my own startup. So in an organization, let's say a talented guy, you may feel that, boss, this guy I have groomed, he's my understudy. Isko to main 3 saal, 5 years, he'll work with me. But the guy may have other plans. She may just say that I have a different calling.
Completely different.
So despite, I think the point I'm making, or what we are trying to say is, organization culture, to the best of your efforts, you can do what you have to in terms of creating that common DNA strand, common set of values, helping people feel good, helping people trust you better, because ultimately it's about trust. They trust you. But one fine day this lady wakes up and says, I have a different calling. So what do? So retention has got nothing to do, or attrition has got nothing to do with culture, unfortunately.
And organizations are finding it difficult in this remote environments. Absolutely. Also in the remote environment, they're finding it difficult to keep the culture, even if they have some manifestation of culture. It's very difficult to keep their culture going.
Absolutely. You have moonlighting, you have the gig economy. I mean, where does it all lead us?
Moving parts that are there. When we talk of culture earlier, I think it was like a monolith. There were certain base values, systems that were happening. Now there are so many moving parts for an employee. It is his own thought. It is what is happening in the organization. What do I want to do? And like you said, he said, no, I want to do something on my own. So right at this point, there's so many moving parts. Culture can be, yes, it is one of the anchors for but not the only anchor.
Having said that, we're talking about culture. Even the culture of startup is not great. At least we keep on hearing about it, and they have a high attrition rate also. Maybe the founder is not leaving, but the people under the founder, they are also leaving. So culture and attrition is important. As long as people are leaving because the culture is toxic, or it is not, they are not able to speak up, or they are not able to do what they, what skills they have. They are not able to impart the result to the organization. So culture is very important. If people are leaving because of their own calling, I think it's a trend now. Startup guys are rock stars, the way they have been glamorized. We don't know, 90% startup fail. There's statistics around it. But what is wrong in trying? Everyone has an idea and they would like to try, and they will be the unicorn. And also, I think there's a trend here. Like, we had joint families of 100 people living in the same haveli, and now we have nuclear family, with dogs and pets around. So I'm saying that, so if people are thinking that this is a new kind of organization which will be like bunch of people, tech organization, 1 + 5 people, maybe that is a new kind of organizations, Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you for this amazing discussion. Can I now request all of you to sort of maybe, sum up what you really feel about is organizational culture? Does it really matter, or is it just something that looks amazing on a piece of paper? Maybe 30 seconds to give your thoughts.
One thought on that. So
Yes.
because you said that you're going to take whatever we speak here to the classes, I think from a student's perspective or a future employee perspective, as they are looking at, once they have decided that, okay, they don't want to start a startup, but they do want to go and work in an organization, do their research beyond the package, the role, the location. Do study what the culture is, see whether it speaks to them, see whether there is a fit, and give it as much importance before they decide on org A versus an org B is what I.
Thank you. I think that makes perfect sense, especially to ensure that the attrition rate seriously goes down, because without it, it's a lot of investment.
That you're spending most of your waking time at the workplace, so it should be something where you feel happy and you feel belonged, and you know.
Absolutely right. Any last thoughts? Yes.
So culture is about the DNA, and in a body there can't be two different DNAs. So the culture should be same for the top guy and for the executive.
Thank you for that.
So I would say culture matters, whether anything which is called organization, whether it's a multinational organization, monolithic organization, a family unit, or a community, whatever. Culture definitely matters because it binds people together and it gives them hope to, further progress. Yeah.
Yes, it is a big anchor in an organization, however, not the only one. And one of the differences is that in today's times, the culture that an organization has and the individuals that they carry from their families, there could be differences between the two. So it's not the answer, but yes, one of the answers. And again, as I said, top leaders, what we profess, we should also practice.
Thank you for that.
I would say to the Gen Z that we need to be friends with them. That's one way we would be able to retain them. Secondly,
so you're also telling them be friends with us.
Yes, and we need to be obviously be more accommodative. Second is invest in a good HR team, and from a talent acquisition point of view, it will. I think somebody spoke about you have to constantly hire. Attrition is going to be part of life. That's how they are. They look at it from their own belief point of view. Last is from an organization point of view. I think we need to be smarter in hiring people whom we believe are going to stay with us.
Well, just to add to what I said, I actually agree with everything, and going further, I do believe that culture can actually be a competitive differentiator in today's world where people is everything.
My view on that would be that, when you get into an organization, don't try and see whether I am a culture fit, right? Try and see what, can I be the change agent, right? So give it time. Don't take it like, I don't seem to be fit here and I'm out. Right? So I think give it time, be the change. If you believe in it, if you believe in startups, let it be the startup and start the change, right? So I think if you can be the part of if you don't see that it is coming out, given enough time, then you may take a call, but give it time.
So look, my view, whether you are a new economy company or a traditional company, it's always about people. People are at the core of everything that you do, whether you're a technology company or a non-tech company. So for people, fundamentally the three reasons in my mind why they either choose or don't choose, right? Intellectual, recognition and monetary. And culture becomes that common glue or the DNA strand which holds people together. So consciously, people from the top, right at the top, have to build a culture consciously, drive that culture, cascade that culture. And therefore, it becomes that intangible why people either stick on or don't stick on.